Hi everybody, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these cute amigurumi squids. I do not normally do amigurumi video tutorials, but I'm trying something new out. If you like how I do this, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like my tutorials, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now these squids are so cute, and I really love how it came out using the Super Saver stripes yarn. This is such a fun project to do with this yarn. I love how the colors change. You're going to need about 1/3 of a skein of a worsted weight yarn. You're going to need a pair of scissors. These are my favorite travel scissors, and I'll leave a link for these in the description box if you like them, but they're one of my favorites. Now when it comes to hooks, I've actually made this squid with 3 different size hooks, and today I'm actually going to use a G hook, but you can see here, and let me grab my other one. You can see that when I use the G hook versus the E hook, which is on the left, that the G hook will give you a slightly larger octopus. It's just up to you which size hook you'd like to use. You're also going to need a stitch marker and a yarn needle for this project, and some polyfill, a lot more than I'm showing you here, but you are going to need some polyfill to stuff it, as well as a set of safety eyes. So if you want to make safety eyes, also if you want to embroider on a mouth, you'll need a little bit of a contrasting yarn or an embroidery floss to do that. Now if you want to use this as an alternative to the preemie octopus to donate, you do need to contact your local hospital and find out if they like them stuffed and if they accept them with safety eyes. So let's go ahead and get started on this squid. So I just made a slip knot, and now I'm going to make a magic circle. I make my magic circles by starting with a slip knot. It's what works for me, and I just make a loop with my yarn, and then I will crochet over the 2 strands at the top of the loop. So right now we are going to single crochet 3 into the magic circle. So we've worked 1, 2, and now we're working 3 single crochets into that magic circle. Pull your magic circle tight. We'll weave in that end later. There's only 2 ends in this whole project. Now the hardest part of the whole pattern is just twisting up this piece that we have here so you can work back into that first stitch, because we are working in a continuous round. So working back into your first single crochet, we are going to work 2 single crochet into that first stitch. Now we'll work 2 single crochet into our second stitch, so we're increasing. So 1 and 2 into the same stitch, and then we're working 2 single crochet into the third stitch, and that will end our row 2, and we'll be ready to move on to row 3. And just give it a few rows and it won't be quite as tight. So moving on to row 3, we're going to start a simple repeat. The repeat is single crochet in the first stitch, then increase in the following stitch, and you repeat this a total of 3 times. So we'll work the single crochet in the next stitch, and then another single crochet into that stitch for an increase. So we've worked 1 single crochet, and then we've worked an increase in the following stitch, and then we just repeat that 2 more times. And so as I work those repeats, I'm just going to explain the next few rows because I'm not going to show them to you. As you go on through the next several rows, you're just going to do a variation of these repeats. So again, row 3, we're single crocheting once, and then we're increasing or working 2 single crochet into the following stitch. When you reach row 4, you will do a repeat of 2 single crochet and then an increase. Row 5, 3 single crochet and then an increase. And row 6 is 4, 7 is 5, 8 is 6, and then the importance is to do this repeat a total of 3 times. So I've made it all the way around my row 3, and this is about as far as I can go before I grab my stitch marker. Now that our rows aren't so tight, it's important to mark the very first stitch of your row so it's easy to keep track of your rows. And if you need to do this starting with row 1, definitely do it, but since it's so tight, I like to start this up with row 4. So I've made my first stitch in row 4, tucking in my stitch marker so I can easily keep my spot. Again, I've already made one stitch in row 4, so I'm going to make a second single crochet in row 4, and then in the next stitch I'm going to increase, and you just keep repeating this trend all the way through row 8, and then when we hit row 9 I will show you what we'll do next. Feel free to pause the video here and keep crocheting until you reach row 9. So now I'm just finishing up row 8, and when I finish up row 8, starting on row 9, we are going to be making that top point of the squid. You can see how our color is changing here. And so we're making this top section here, and the way we're going to do that is we're just going to skip some stitches. It's actually quite easy, but I will show you how it is done. So take out your stitch marker and make your very first stitch of this row. This is row 9. Alright, and then what you're going to do is, you've already worked one single crochet, you're going to work another in the next stitch and one more in the next stitch. So we've worked 3 single crochets in the first 3 stitches, and now we are going to skip 6 stitches. So this is the stitch where my thumb is the stitch we need to work into. I'm going to pinch it, push my hook from the front to the back of this stitch, complete my single crochet, make sure you make a nice tight single crochet. So we've skipped 6 stitches, we've worked 1 single crochet, and now we're going to work 5 more single crochet along this side of the squid. So it's a total of 6 single crochet in between the 2 points that we skip stitches. Alright, so now we've worked 6 single crochet here. We are going to skip another 6 single crochet. Find that 7th single crochet, work your single crochet into it. Make sure you keep everything nice and tight. And then you'll have 2 more stitches left. Just work a single crochet into those 2 stitches. So it's 3 single crochet, skip 6, work 6 single crochet, skip 6, work 3 single crochet. Is how you get around this part of the squid. There we go. And so it actually only leaves us with 12 stitches as we move on to row 10. So for row 10, it actually goes back to our simple repeat we were working before we skip stitches. So we're working our first single crochet. The difference is now we have a lot less stitches, so we have to kind of go back in our pattern. So for row 10, we're actually going to work 3 single crochet. We've already worked 1. Here's our second single crochet. Here's our third single crochet. Turn your work over, and then in that next single crochet we're actually going to work 2 single crochet or a simple increase, and then repeat that twice more. So 3 single crochet and an increase. That is our repeat. Then going back to row 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you're going to do the same type of repeat, repeating it 3 times, but of course row 11 will be 4 single crochet and then an increase. 12 will be 5 single crochet and then an increase. 13 will be 6, 14 will be 7, 15 will be 8, and then again we are going to change up our routine from there. But if you want to go ahead and work through those rows and then pause the video until you have them completed, and then I'll catch up with you then. So here I am finishing up row 15, and in row 16 as we move along it's going to change just a little bit. Instead of increasing by 3, we are going to increase by 6 in row 16, and that means our repeat's going to change. It's going to jump back. So in order to increase by 6 on this row, we are going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So we're working our first stitch and replacing our stitch marker so we don't lose our place. So we worked 1 single crochet. We're going to work 3 more, so 2, 3, and then 4 single crochet, and then we'll increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then you just repeat this 6 more times so that we'll have 6 increases in this row. So once you complete your repeats in row 16, we have some nice easy rows for row 17, 18, 19, and 20. For these rows, all you're going to do is single crochet into every stitch around. So there's going to be 36 single crochet in every row, and you just single crochet in every stitch around for 4 rows. So it's going to be really, really easy, and this is going to make our head, the bulk of our head for our squid. This is going to be where we put in our eyes and so on our mouth. So work up those 4 rows, and then I will be back with you and we will start decreasing. So we finished row 20, and you can see how we have kind of a straight area here where we haven't done any increases. So now we're going to start decreasing on our next few rows, and that's going to pull in the bottom of the squid together, getting it closed up so that we can go ahead and start making tentacles. So for row 21, you're going to single crochet into the first 10 stitches, and then you'll do a single crochet 2 together or a decrease. And after we work that decrease, you will repeat this repeat a total of 3 times. So we got 10 single crochet done, and I'm going to show you how to do a decrease, an invisible decrease. You're going to take your hook, come under the stitch, come up through the middle so that we're only grabbing the front loop, go to the next stitch and do the exact same thing, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops, and then you can yarn over and complete your single crochet. So that is how you can single crochet 2 together. If you know another method and want to use it, that's totally fine, but this is the way that tends to be the most invisible when you're working amigurumi. So now I'm just going to single crochet in the next 10 stitches again and do another decrease, and then do that repeat one more time until we get all the way to my stitch marker. So we're at the end of row 21, and I'm just going to show you that decrease one more time. You're going to pick up the front loop of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through both of those stitches, yarn over, and complete your single crochet. And that is how you can do a decrease. Now moving on to row 22, you're going to be decreasing 3 times again among this row, but this time what we are going to do is we are going to single crochet into 9 stitches, the next 9 stitches, and then work a decrease. So we've already worked 1 single, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we'll work another one of our decreases, working into those front loops, yarn over, pull through, and complete. Just repeat that 2 more times until you make it back to your stitch marker. So now when we reach row 23, we are going to decrease 6 along this row, and we are going to do this by single crocheting into the first 3 stitches. So move your stitch marker. We've worked 1 single crochet. Going to single crochet into the second and the third stitch, and then we'll work a decrease, and then we'll simply repeat that 6 times or until you reach your stitch marker again. So it's 3 single crochet and then decrease. So now for row 24, we're going to decrease 6 times again, but this time we are going to work into the back loop only. We're going to single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Make sure you mark your first single crochet. So single crochet into the back loop only of the first 2 stitches, and then decrease in the back loop. So in this case, I'm going to go into that back loop, up through the next stitch's back loop, yarn over, pull through those loops, yarn over, and complete my single crochet. And then just repeat that all the way around. So working into the back loops only, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then work a decrease. And it's important that these are in the back loop only, because those loops that we leave exposed is going to give us a place to anchor our tentacles We are going to crochet our tentacles directly onto our squid, and you're not going to need to sew them on, so they'll be very, very secure. But definitely make sure you're able to see those back loops or the front loops that are left exposed so that we can attach to them later. So if you're planning to add safety eyes or stuff this little squid, this is a really great time to do it. Now remember, if you are donating this squid, say to a hospital, definitely call first to see if they allow safety eyes. I know my local hospital does not allow safety eyes or allow them to be stuffed, so it's definitely something you want to check. But otherwise, I absolutely love putting safety eyes on little amigurumi like this. So you can just see we have the safety eye and we have a little plastic piece that goes on the back of it. Just go ahead and push it through any stitch that you want. Remember that octopuses typically, and squid typically have very spread out eyes, so you want to have the eyes pretty spread apart. And you can take a look at them, see if you need to move anything around. Mine on the right side is too high, so I'm going to move it down a row. That looks really cute to me. This one I'm not going to put his face on, but this would be also a really good time to embroider a mouth on if you like how that looks. So once I have them where I want them, I'm just going to grab this little plastic piece and push it on the back and squeeze it really, really hard. You want to make sure it clicks in place. That's how you know it's going to stay in place. And you want to make sure they're in the right spot, because once you put these little plastic washer on, they do not want to come off. That's the reason they're called safety eyes, because they do not come off, not without a lot of effort. So this top area I don't stuff. If you want, you can also sew open these little holes at the top, but again, I really don't stuff up that far, so it's not an issue. But this is a really, really great time to go ahead and stuff your squid if you want to get him stuffed. So once your squid's all ready to go, we go ahead and put our hook back into our stitch, and we'll move right along to row 25. So row 25, we're going to decrease 6 times along this row, and the way we're going to do that is we will single crochet into the first stitch and then work a decrease. So single crochet into your first stitch, use your stitch marker to mark this stitch. We're about ready to get rid of this stitch marker, just another few rows. So we've worked 1 single crochet, and then we will decrease over the next 2 stitches. There you go, and you'll just repeat this all the way around till you reach your stitch marker. So with that row done, we are going to work the very last row, and in this row we are going to be decreasing all the way around in the back loops only. So it's okay to go ahead and take off your stitch marker as long as you count your decreases. And we are working into those back loops, down through the first loop in the back loop, up through the second loop in the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, complete your stitch. And then do that again, working into those back loops, up to the next one, yarn over, and complete your stitch. And do this a total of 6 times, and this will close up our squid, leaving a very tiny hole at the bottom that you can either sew up later, or you just can leave it because it's going to be so tiny it's not going to bother anybody. Once you complete your 6 single crochet decreases in the back loops only, you will be ready to start making your long tentacles, and all you need to do for that is to chain 36. When we get 36 chain, we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. You're going to work a half double crochet into the next chain, a double crochet into the next chain, a treble crochet, so you wrap around twice, pull up a loop from the chain, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for a treble. Do that one more time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Work another double crochet. just shaping that bottom part of the squid's tentacle. Work a single crochet. That's going to cinch it down a little bit faster to give us our shape. And then now that we've gotten that done, you're just going to single crochet in every chain until you reach the body of the squid again. And when you get back down to the base of the squid, just completing that last single crochet, go ahead and slip stitch to one of the front loops that were created in row 26. That just kind of helps to keep the squid's tentacle a little bit centered. So there is our first tentacle. We're going to create a second. So just go ahead and chain 36 again. When you get to the end of your chain, you are going to single crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, we're changing colors, treble crochet again. I always love watching it change colors. Double crochet, and then single crochet. And then now you'll just single crochet along the chain. So once you've worked all the way down your chain, just find a front loop of row 26 and slip stitch to it. Something that's on the other side of the bottom would be good, and that will help keep your bottom two tentacles nice and centered. And then now we want to start working in row 24's front loops. So what you want to do is make a very, very loose slip stitch to row 24, and I like to pick somewhere on the side of the head. So just pick a stitch on row 24 and make a very, very loose slip stitch to move ourselves up there. All right, now we're ready to make those cute curly tentacles. So what you're going to want to do is chain 42. When you reach the end of your chain, you are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then all the other chains on the hook, you are going to work 2 single crochet into every single chain, and that is what's going to give us that cute curly tentacle. So simply increasing in every chain until you reach the squid body again. And you can see as I work those increases that my tentacle is going to get nice and curly on us. So we have reached the top of the tentacle, working that very last increase. Got a cute curly tentacle. And now what we want to do to spread out our tentacles is moving along those front loops of row 24, we are going to slip stitch to the next 3 front loops. So just 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, 3 slip stitches. And now we're going to repeat our tentacles. So chain 42, single crochet, and then increase all the way down the row, and then separate every tentacle out by 3 slip stitches. And just do that all along until you have a total of 8 tentacles. So I've reached the bottom, I believe, of my 4th tentacle, and again we are just going to finish up this tentacle with an increase. And so we have that tentacle, and then again working into those front loops we are going to slip stitch 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3, and then begin chaining 42 to work our next tentacle. And now I've reached the very end of my last tentacle, and I do not have any more loops to slip stitch into, so I'm just picking whatever front loop I can reach, slip stitching to that, and then here I can fasten off. Just clip my thread, yarn over once more, and pull it through the loop on the hook to tighten it and secure it. So here's our completed squid. You just have 2 ends to weave in, so that's nice and easy. You can go ahead and sew on a mouth if you like, but I would definitely check with your hospital if you're going to donate this. You need to see if they would like it stuffed or if they allow safety eyes. Just check with them for that. They may want you to sew up these little holes here, and possibly it might be safe just to sew up this very center hole here, but if you're just using it for yourself, I really don't find all of that necessary. You can definitely embroider on a cute little mouth, and your squid is all done. I really hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I come out with a new video tutorial every week.